Let the good times roll. Welcome back to Football Therapy, ladies and gentlemen, with me, your host, Jan. I hope you're doing well, viewer, and I really do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News, the daily series, friend, here on the channel where I reflect on what's being said about Chelsea, giving you my opinion on it, more importantly, asking for yours, and there's plenty to talk about in the world of Chelsea Football Club. At present, squad numbers of exciting new signings, at least for pre-season. An update on the battle for Jules Kounde as Chelsea and Barcelona go at it, and their fans are wringing each other's necks on social media. Cesar Azpilicueta to Barcelona, done, fee agreed? And could even Ampadu be rotational with Levi Colwill, who, by the way, Thomas Tuchel has spoken on as well. Also, Armando Broja, maybe not for sale. Lots and lots and lots to get into. So I hope you're in a comfortable position with a drink in hand. Or drink optional, of course. Strap yourselves in. Thank you for joining me. Please do consider dropping a like on the video to support the content. See if we can top 2,000, maybe even 3,000 likes. You could be a part of that effort. You're welcome to subscribe, should you choose to do so. You know what to do, boys and girls. What do? You hit that sweet, sweet bell, baby. Let's jump straight in, off the bat. First of all, squad numbers. This has been presented, reported, published by Chelsea that at least for pre-season, Raheem Sterling will be taking the vacant number 17. Now, I think this was a favourite. I ran a poll on social media, on Twitter. What number should he take? Should he try and take the number 7 off Kante, which many people said no? Should he take the vacant number 9 in Lukaku's absence, which many people said no? I mean, Raheem Sterling 9 sounds kind of cool, but just don't put that on him. Whoever wears the number 17 tends to do pretty well. Eden Hazard did pretty well in it before he got the number 10. Mateo Kovacic did pretty well in it before he got the number 8. Why, Raheem Sterling? Let him have it. It's got a 7 on it, like his previous number 7. He probably thinks he'll eventually get the number 7, maybe if Kante goes in a year or something, whatever. Or you might get another number, but number 17 is a relatively iconic number in football, certainly at Chelsea. I think he'll be pretty happy with that. Biggest talking point, of course, is Kalidou Koulibaly taking John Terry's number 26. Of course, Koulibaly wearing 26 at Napoli, been the number he's worn for the last 8 years. John Terry's posted on social media or commented on the signing, what a player, what a signing, hashtag KK26, basically saying, like, maybe that was his way of saying, yes, take the 26. Maybe he was consulted, John Terry, saying that we're thinking of giving Kalidou the number. He's an amazing defender. He's obviously an amazing option to take that hallowed number. Some people are frustrated by it. Some people don't give a crap. And some people are like, yeah, fair enough. He's worthy of the shirt. If JT gives his blessing, I'm all for him. So he's taken the iconic 26 for pre-season. Notably as well, Conor Gallagher has been given a squad number, the number 15, which is sort of neither here nor there. If he is to stay this season, which we can probably expect he will, then yeah, 15 is absolutely fine for the youngster. Maybe one day he'll work his way up to, be the successor for the number 8 after Kovacic being a few years younger. I do feel like Mason Mount will keep his 19 because it's kind of like part of his brand now. We'll see what happens, friends. So there's your update with squad numbers. Let's talk about transfers and stuff. Update from Ben Jacobs on Twitter. Very well connected, in the know journalist for CBS Sports that has had very good information throughout this transfer window with the takeover and indeed now transfers. He says, Jules Kounde update. Chelsea are confident of agreeing a fee with Sevilla for around 60 million euro. What's that? Like 54 million pounds or something? And they are working fast. Barca yet to bid, but are expected to imminently. Still an open race. Sevilla do want a straight cash deal, though, with CFC's tactic to get an agreement quickly. Well, this was the same with Leeds. Leeds preferred to sell to Chelsea because Chelsea's structure, their cash deal, was more agreeable than Barcelona. You'd assume that would be the same situation with this, but of course Rafinha just wanted to go to Barcelona. But is that the same case with Jules Kounde? Let's find out. Barca are waiting and relying on getting Kounde's full buy-in, but CFC sources also believe Kounde wants a move to London. That's the key difference compared to Rafinha. Rafinha made it clear that Barca was his first choice. Now, Kounde hasn't. Ding, 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 tick, tick. No doubt Chelsea are closer to a deal currently, and they're growing in confidence. Barca must respond, and Sevilla will listen if they do. But they want things ideally resolved this week. Brackets before they go to Portugal. That helps Chelsea too. Just to reiterate, another key difference, another point that differentiates Kounde from Rafinha. Chelsea have already agreed broad terms with Kounde. Of course, last summer they did, didn't they? As previously reported. Players do agree deals with multiple clubs, but the fact is Kounde is happy with CFC terms is also giving Chelsea confidence. I'd also add to that Kounde, you know, when he thought he was coming to Chelsea last summer, he was like commenting with Trev Chalobah on social media. They were like talking to each other. He already in his head believed he was going to Chelsea. I don't want to get overconfident because you never know in these situations. Barcelona, he's obviously already playing in La Liga. He'll speak Spanish. It'll be tempting. He'll see that there's loads of good players going there. Chelsea fans on Twitter are at war with Barcelona fans saying, no, he's coming to us. No, he's coming to us. And Barca are like, nah, he's going to, reject you like Rafinha does. And then Chelsea respond with that video or gif of Jules Kounde throwing the ball in that Barcelona player's face. I forget which player it was. We'll have to see what happens. Surely Sevilla would prefer to sell to Chelsea for a couple of reasons. One, Chelsea would probably offer a more alluring financial structure. And two, Sevilla is still one of the best teams in La Liga. Do they want to strengthen Barcelona, a team that they'll be like fighting for the top four with? Probably not. You'd have to assume. So we'll have to see what happens there. If it's down to the player, hopefully he'll choose Chelsea. That, to me, would complete a very good back three, and Jules Kounde would represent a very good replacement for the probably outgoing Cesar Azpilicueta. Miguel Bazquez, who reports for The Sportsman, he's got a lot of followers on Twitter, he's verified apparently, he's been referenced by sports aggregators. He said, and this is a translated tweet, Cesar Azpilicueta will play for Barca next season. The Barcelona team has reached an agreement for the transfer of the side at a rate about 4 million euros. Of course, Chelsea extended Azpilicueta's contract, which is an option they had. He would have gone on a free. They're probably letting him go for very, very cheap. 4 million euros, what's that, about £3 million. He still starts for Spain. They're getting a very good deal. I think this would be almost exclusively as a gesture for Chelsea's captain and long-term servant, and indeed now legend Cesar Azpilicueta. He wants the move. He'll get a 3-year contract in Barcelona on good money in his motherland, in hot weather in Barcelona, a big iconic club, of course. It's a great opportunity for him after winning absolutely everything at Chelsea in a playing a decade at the club, captaining us to a Champions League win. What more could you do at Chelsea? He's a legend. So that kind of makes sense. And Jules Kounde would represent a good replacement for him. And then you could say Kalidou Koulibaly would represent a great replacement for Antonio Rudiger. I think he will play on the left despite being right-footed. Thiago, so you'd have a back three of Koulibaly, Thiago Silva, and should he come, Jules Kounde. And then you could say rotational options, because you need 3 rotational options behind. On the right, you could have Trevor Chalobah rotating with Jules Kounde. Apparently, they're mates already. You could have maybe Levi Colwill rotating on the left with Kalidou Koulibaly. And then maybe you could have Ethan Ampadu rotating with Thiago Silva down the middle. Now, this might seem a little bit far-fetched. We are hearing reports that Chelsea do want to buy another defender after Kounde, but maybe they don't have to. Ethan Ampadu has impressed on his Venezia loan. He's been on a few loans. He's shown he can be very, very good in the middle of a back three. He's done that for Wales. He's done that for Chelsea back under Conte. He plays in CDM. He can play as a centre-back. He's made for that sweeper role in the middle of a back three. He's very young, and reports are suggesting he's impressing in pre-season. He's not a teenager anymore. He's 21, so of course he's very, very young. And he is not. I believe he's not been sent back with the other youths. Billy Gilmore, Harvey Vale was sent back to with the under 23s, and Tino Angerin, of course. Colwill and Ampadu have been left in the first team squad. I do think Ampadu has a very good chance of being part of the squad in a rotational option. You'll have a very strong, if this is to happen, it's of course speculation, a very strong front three, first choice back three of, like I said, Koulibaly, Thiago Silva, Jules Kounde, and a rotational one of Levi Colwill, Ethan Ampadu in the middle, and Trevor Chalobah on the right. These are strong options, and of course you can mix and match if there's injuries. And if Tuchel wants to change formation to a back four, these players can also play in a back four, of course. And then Ethan Ampadu could play as a CDM in a back four system. So it could happen. He's been on a few loans, Ethan Ampadu. He went on a really bad loan to Leipzig, which seemed like a great loan at the time. Seemed like an amazing opportunity in terms of the coach, the youth, the league, the level of team, but it was awful. Then he went to Sheffield, which again seemed really good at the time. A team that played a back three system that had done really well in their first promoted season. But of course, they had a relegation season. And then Venezia, although I don't think they had the greatest season, he played really well and was utilised in many positions and was an important player for them. So that was a better loan. I think he will be considered for the first team, Ethan Ampadu. And we'd love to see it. He's still very young. When it comes to Levi Colwill, of course, there's been an uproar. There's been great debate about this on social media. But Thomas Tuchel commented on it yesterday in his press conference and says, obviously he's with the first team, but he hasn't been sent away, to rehabilitate. He's been out, so Tuchel says he hasn't had enough time to look at him because he's been injured. He's only just coming back into the fold in the first team. But Tuchel's like, yeah, I'll have a look at him. And if he impresses him, he will probably get a chance in the squad. And the people who are informed are saying he's not demanding first team minutes. He just wants to be given a chance and know what the situation is. He has, I think, a good chance. Now, Tuchel might, in his head, have one more big signing that he's considering after Jules Kounde. Reports are suggesting that Chelsea are still going to look at Joško Gvardiol if they can't sign Jules Kounde or Kimpembe. So that's sounding like maybe it could be one more and not two more. And that would bode very, very well indeed for the youngsters Ampadu and Levi Colwill. An update on Armando Broja. Thomas Tuchel also spoke about this in his pre-season press conference. He says, as it stands, the plan is to keep him, which is huge. He says, yes, we are aware there's offers, because the question was posed to him, we know you've had a bid received for Armando Broja. And he was like, he laughs or whatever. He's like, yeah, we're aware, we see it as a compliment and he's doing something right. If he does go, that will be a problem because we don't have a striker in his profile. He's basically sort of saying like a running into the space number 9. He didn't say he's definitely staying, but he says at the moment he's not for sale. The plan is with him, but we have to see. We have to see what the player wants. We have to have a look at him. So he's basically saying nothing is definitive, but as things stand, he's not got a for sale sign on him. And but we do understand and we do see how there are bids for our young striker. So that's promising. I feel like these kind of comments from the coach kind of pour cold water on all these disputes and outrage on social media that he's just, there's a mass youth exodus and he's not going to give anyone a chance. There could be very promising stories for next season. There could be. You could see a Levi Colwill. You could see an Ethan Ampadu, joining the likes of Trevor Chalobah, Hudson-Odoi, Reece James, Mason Mount, Loftus-Cheek, these other academy graduates, we could see positivity and a positive story from that. Of course, we're going to keep you guys updated here on the channel as things get updated, which they are very, very quickly. So I would say to you guys, make sure you turn that sweet bell, turn the bell notification icon on when you subscribe. And thanks for dropping a like and commenting and sharing, man. I really appreciate that, friend. Keep it locked. I will see you very, very soon. Peace.